I know some reports came out this week with Richardson and whatnot, but I think he's a good player. I think he's a good teammate. Washington, you can argue that Dallas got better than Washington for sure, just because I haven't liked anything what they've been doing, especially having their starting quarterback in trade rumors. Excuse me. That's never good. But man, Philly, I would not be surprised if Philly comes out, and because I do believe Carson Wentz is extremely better than Jared Goff from LA. I think he has potential to be a player in this league. I don't think he is going to catch Dak, at least in the foreseeable future, just because of the situation. I mean, it's just so different, But I mean, yeah, we didn't pick up anyone that's proven. But like you said, I mean, these draft picks, they're really good. And I think a couple of them, if not all of them, that would be amazing. But I think a couple of them are definitely going to pan out to be good players. But you always have the possibility of a Mo Claiborne situation. Doesn't get good until the final season is contract, and then, leaves town. So you just really gotta pan out these players, man. I think Switzer could come in right away, and I agree with you. I think he might be the one with the most impact in his rookie season, just because I think on that offense. I mean, with that offensive line, you don't know. Every play, literally, a 3rd and 7 could be a run, a draw. So, I mean, it's just going to open the door for him. I think he's going to – I don't know. I mean, I like T. Will and I like Bryce Butler, but the door is definitely open, even though he's another slot guy for their jobs. I like Noah Brown from Ohio State. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential and a lot of opportunity for all these guys. And no wide receiver position is safe, man. Even Dez's spot, if he doesn't come out playing like a superstar, who's to say one of these kids can't take the job? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the mentality I think you have to have. It's almost impossible to do it in today's NFL. I just think with owners involved and with a lot of people involved, but that's the mentality you have to have. It has to be a next man up type of mentality, which not a lot of owners have, not a lot of GMs have, but you got to have it that way. And I think if you look at having Switzer on one side, having Beasley on the other, and having Dez on the outside, I mean, this could be dangerous. This could be one of the best offensive that we've seen in a while, and I think that's what we're going to see. Because Switzer is no joke. I've watched Switzer for about 3 years from North Carolina, and he rarely drops a pass. Kick returner, punt returner.
I think
big.
Lucky Whitehead is in danger, Ben. I think Lucky is in severe danger. I think Switzer could have this job won, honestly, by game 1. Just because of work ethic and just because, I mean, there is just so much flash, man. I would not be surprised at all. I mean, for his name to be, I've heard his name coming up a lot. It's like, wow, he's the rookie who turned the heads in these practices already. That's huge, man. That is ridiculous, man. So I mean, I would definitely be on high alert if I were Lucky Whitehead.
Yeah, definitely. I would be too. Want to give a shout out to a couple of people in the chat room. We got Joe with CowboysBlog.net. We also got a Rough Buff from the X Squad. We got Ryan Foley. What's good? What's going on, man? Thank you for jumping in. DJ Dollars and Cents has been in the building. Over at the new link here, we got the new link. We had an issue. Mocha Bella. Everybody, appreciate you guys from coming over on the second half of the show. I guess I'm going to have to call this part 2 when I edit this because it's a continuation. But appreciate everybody. So there was a comment here that we had. As a huge Steelers fan, it's not, Roger, these dummies know when they're getting tested, they either have a problem, don't listen to their agent, or just don't give a rip. That's a great point. I mean, you know when you're tested. These guys know it. It's not a surprise. It's not as if they come in and they're like, it's your turn today. They know. So to the point of anybody, you shouldn't get caught. You need to be smart. You need to, and part of what you made a good point. What is up with the Cowboys nutritionist? What is up with the guy who subscribes the meds? Does that guy need to be fired? Because we've had an issue pretty much every year. They put something up on ESPN. Skandrick had an issue one year. That's because he was taking Molly. That was stupid on his part. Skandrick, Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence. Now we've got David Irving. So something's wrong here.
It's also so disappointing that it had to be David Irving. I think he's really a fan favorite for most people, especially I know you and me really like him a lot. I mean, I think he's been, the best guy on that D-line the last season, maybe even two. And, you expect this type of thing from Tank Lawrence. You expect this type of thing from Gregory, but a guy like David Irving who, really got his big chance. I mean, really coming alive, the fan support, and then this just cannot happen, man. This is disappointing. It really is, because I think we all thought that, like, this guy, I'm not going to say it's all his fault, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's his name on the block being suspended. It's nobody else's name. It's his name. So, I mean, it's just disappointing, especially, those first 4 games, yeah, they might not seem like anything, but that's 25% of the season just gone. Yeah. That's a huge percentage of the season just gone.
Down the toilet, yeah.
And then you're already a month into the season, and you're not at game speed yet. That can take another 2 to 3 weeks when these guys are already a month in. So, I mean, it's all around the board disaster.
Yeah, that's something that you don't want to see. You don't want to see that. You don't want to come into the season already knowing you're going to lose one of your best pass rushers for 4 games. So I hope we are all, totally incorrect, and somehow he's able to not get suspended these games. I hope so. Reddy also says, why won't Dak struggle in his second year like most second year QBs do? Here's the reason why I don't think he's going to struggle. This guy is beyond, he is ahead of his time. He's ahead of his pace of maturity. To me, I would compare him very similar to a Russell Wilson, somebody who comes in, works hard, puts his head down, doesn't do anything stupid, is in the film room more than most of the guys who have been on the team. And I don't think he's going to have a drop off, because he's not going to step back in his training and his preparation. That's why I don't think he's going to have a second year slump. I don't think he's going to have the same numbers, but I don't think we're going to see a year where he has more interceptions than touchdowns, and the Cowboys end up having a losing record. So he is going to have some struggles, don't get me wrong, but his focus that he has, and his ability to or his discipline and his way to focus in at the task at hand is like none other. And I dare to say probably he's at the level of Jason Witten mentally. And that's a tough comment to say, but I have to say that because the guy is far ahead of his maturity stride. And I think he's more mature than Wentz is in just his ability and focus.
Yeah, I agree with you both in a sense. I thought this whole sophomore slump thing was ridiculous until about maybe 2 weeks ago. I officially looked at the schedule. I had heard it was tough and whatnot. This schedule is beyond anything I have ever seen. I mean, are you kidding me right now? Seattle, Denver, Arizona. I mean, honestly, I think the ceiling for wins is 11, maybe 12, and 12 would be with having the season that he had last year. I do agree with you. I don't think the numbers necessarily will be the same, but no, I think he's very mature and he is ahead of his time. That's why I don't see him having a slump year, statistic wise at least. But let me tell you, man, it is going to be. I mean, literally, every week is going to be a grind to get a win. It is not going to be like Green Bay again this year, I believe. Like, are you kidding me? We have to play these guys every year?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we beat them last year, but my God, man, it is absolutely insane, the strength of schedule. Really ridiculous in a sense. I really think I think that is just to tease these rookies, honestly. I think that is just so, at Arizona, at Denver, back-to-back to start off. Are you kidding me? New York again? A team, like, it's almost like they want us to start 0-3. New York, at Denver, at Arizona? I mean, I know Arizona didn't necessarily have a great year, but a healthy Arizona team in Arizona coming for revenge, that is not going to be an easy game at all, especially on Monday night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is a lot of tough. I don't even know if we play Pittsburgh or some of those other AFC teams, but wow, it's gonna be a grind every week, man. It's not gonna be anything like last year.
Yeah, I agree. And my record prediction, my early record prediction is 10-6. I truly think the teams that we're going to play this year is nowhere near what we played last year, to your point. And that's mainly because when you win games, when you win more games, obviously the next season you get the tougher schedule, you get the tougher teams, you got to play them at their place, and no team is going to have any sympathy for us or want to take it easy on us. They're going to want to embarrass the Cowboys like every team wants to do every single year. So I think 10-6 to me is fair. If they do better than that, awesome. But I think 10-6 is probably about where I think we'll be.
Yeah, definitely. I'm either going 10-6 or 9-7. And there's also a game at Oakland. Like, are you at Atlanta?
Wow. Yeah,
at Atlanta. Oh, this is going to be.
It's going to be.
And then
tough
to end the season at Philly again. But I don't think Philly's going to be. I know they beat us last time, but I think Philly's going to be in a position this year where it might matter, or they might have been really close, so they're going to play. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to – I don't see Dallas in a situation where Week 17, either they're locked in or there's not a reason to play. So it's going to be a grind, man. It's going to be so interesting to watch, too. Every week is going to be – really, a grind.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy at all. Before I let you go, there's two names that are floating around as potential Cowboy free agents. We've got Richard Sherman, who I think his days in Seattle are numbered. There's been a lot of issues going on with him and his relationship with Russell Wilson. There was Seahawks players that came out and said, yeah, the story is true, and we don't get along with Richard Sherman. So him and Kaepernick as a backup. I know he visited, I think, Seattle this week. Do you think it is a possibility with either one of these guys?
I don't see. I would love to have Sherman, but I don't see it happening. I think if they were able to get Sherman, it would put them in the hunt for potential Super Bowl. I don't see us at the level defensively yet to win a Super Bowl, which is fine because the offense is so young and you have these rookies coming in. But I think this year is really about trying to win a playoff game. I know you had the first round bye, but I think winning a playoff game would be huge for the confidence. And I'm not going to give up, but getting Sherman would be huge. I don't see how it's going to happen. I would love it, but
yeah, that's a tough one because he's Seattle. I mean, that's who he is. He is the Seattle Seahawks. He is the blood of that team, and without him,